Welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna be doing a Q&A with my sister Miranda. She's about 24 years old. Yeah. So I'm gonna start first because someone wanted to ask what was it like growing up with a 22Q sibling?
I mean, for me, it was basically normal because it was my normal because I don't have a sibling that doesn't have 22Q.
Yeah.
So for me, it was my normal, and you just kind of get used to it. I mean, obviously it has its challenges, but so does every sibling. They're just different types of challenges that we kind of go through.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Now flip of that, we're gonna do what's it like growing up with a normal sibling?
I guess I'm gonna say the same thing you said, because to me it's normal. And we do have other siblings, but
We didn't grow up with them.
no, like we're the only two that actually communicate daily, I guess. So to me it'd be normal, and I don't know what anything else is. My first question is, do you ever wish I didn't have 22Q?
I mean, I guess there were times when when we were growing up that I wished that you could do more. Like, I wished that, you weren't in the hospital all the time, or that, you could run more and play more and stuff like that. Because we played, but you couldn't, running and jumping and playing tag wasn't necessarily your strong suit.
Still isn't.
It still isn't. So, obviously sometimes when we were younger, I wished that I had a sibling that could do those things.
Yeah.
Or but again, I don't know
what it's
like to not have a sibling who has it. So, or sorry, I have a sibling who doesn't have it. So, to me that was just like, okay, Adam can't run and play tag as much as other kids, or even now it's like, yeah, Adam can't walk as far as other people. So
yeah, that's true.
Because of your heart, right? Like you get tired really quick.
Oh,
so to me, that's just normal. That's just a thing that I factor in when we're doing things. So,
yeah. Your second question?
When you meet new people, how do you describe 22Q to them?
Well, I mostly tell them the easier way that I've been told is it's the 22nd chromosome of the DNA. There's a piece of it that's missing, and whoever has it affects them differently. So, and there's 180 symptoms. So, yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah, I hope it does. My second question is, did you ever feel left out when we were younger? Because all the appointments Mom and I had to go to.
I guess when I was really little and I didn't really quite understand it, I was just like, well, Adam's in Toronto and that's okay. And I was with my grandparents, so it was great. I had fun. I love being with my grandparents. I still do. And then I got to a certain point where I was I kind of felt hurt because
Hurt or jealous?
I don't know, a little bit of both, because it was you were always gone and Mom was always with you, and and you would go to Toronto and you get to eat at restaurants and you get to do things that I didn't get to do because I didn't go to Toronto because I didn't have a need to go. I couldn't go.
It was mostly all for hospital stuff.
Most of it was hospital stuff, but I didn't, when you're
when you're
7, you don't really care about that. You're like, oh, he did one appointment and got to eat at 3 restaurants while he was there.
And missed 5 days of school.
And that was what, little 7-year-old kids thought of. But it wasn't a daily all the time. It was every so often.
Every few months,
No, it wasn't even that. It was
know.
No, it was just every so often. I don't think it came up that often. I think it came up a handful of times.
Yeah.
That I was just it's not fair. Adam gets all this stuff. Why don't I get this stuff? And, there were times where you got things because, You know,
Oh,
like you were going for surgery.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh, Adam's going for surgery, so you get gifts and you get parties and get well soon things, and I didn't get that because I wasn't sick. So I was, you know, again, when I was really little, you know, it was, I didn't really, I was like, so what? You know, like it just, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Like I got that you were sick and I got that you were going for surgery or whatever, but I just didn't quite understand why, like, everyone cares so much about Adam. Everyone forgets Miranda exists, you know? I definitely had those moments.
Oh, yeah.
But obviously I grew out of that, and again, it wasn't like a
Did
regular...
you?
No, I did. I grew out of it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a regular occurrence. It happened like, you know, just before he went for surgery and he was getting like all these gifts and stuff like that, it would come up. Or like I said, it came up like a handful of times when I was growing up, but it wasn't like a regular thing.
Daily thing, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Alright, so do you sometimes feel lonely because, or like left out because you're the only one who has 22q like in our family, and like when you were little you were the only one who we knew had it, like you didn't have anyone else? Did you ever feel like sad or left out?
Sometimes I do, but other times I feel frustrated because I'm the only one in the family that has it.
Yeah.
So it is different because, yeah, and
no one else really gets it.
Yeah. Besides, I'm assuming you by now, and mom. So, and friends. Well, I never really had friends to begin with.
You had lots of friends when you were little, though.
Yeah, when I was little, yeah.
But once the differences started showing more when you got older.
Yeah, that changed. Yeah. I mean, I have a friend now, like.
But you have few friends now. You have people you talk to.
So.
And you have like social media. Thanks, social media. So you now have friends and stuff like that. So
yeah.
people get it.
Yeah. So I guess now I'm not as lonely as I used to be.
Yeah.
So.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Do you find it hard and or confusing to have a brother with a disability?
I mean, it definitely has its challenges. You know, there are things that we don't do or can't do as much as other families would because of this. You know, like amusement parks and roller coasters and stuff like that, because those are contraindicated for those who have heart problems. So, you know, Wonderland and Disney World and stuff like that isn't really necessarily the world's greatest place for us. I mean, also I pass out on roller coasters, so it's fine.
Yeah.
We don't need to go to those places anyways.
No.
But, you know, like there are things that like we couldn't do.
Yeah.
And then that, you know, as a kid, you know, when you're like 8 and 10 and all your friends get to go and do these things, you can't really do them. And I mean, you also couldn't do them, so like you also felt that like left out kind of thing. But yeah, like it has its challenges. I mean, there's definitely times where you have to factor it in more than others. Like, you know, you came here and you're meeting me in Toronto, and that's great.
But you have to meet.
I had to go meet you at the bus terminal and pick you up there and like bring you to my apartment. I couldn't just like after work, after working a 12-hour shift. I had to go meet you.
Yeah.
Which isn't that big of a deal. It was like a 5-minute walk. It's not far. But, you know, instead of being like, just meet me at my apartment, you know, I couldn't do that.
I get lost.
Because you get lost, right?
Yeah.
So, like, it definitely has its challenges. But to me, it's normal. Like, to me, it's just like a thing that's like, okay, Adam's coming, like, I'll meet him at the bus terminal. Like, it wasn't even like a thing that I had to, like, debate. It was just like a thing that I was like, yeah, I'll be at the terminal, we'll make sure your bus gets in when I'm done my shift, that way I can meet you and like pick you up and stuff like that.
Because you're used to it by now, right?
Yeah, like I'm used to it, or it's like, you know, we set like boundaries and stuff like that, where it's like, you know, Adam, I know you're coming to Toronto, but we're not going to talk about this every single day. I know you want to, but we're going to talk about it once a week, because we knew like 6 weeks ago that you were coming. But we're going to talk about it once a week because we can't do this every single day.
Yeah.
That's just exhausting for me.
I don't know.
So, you know. So, it definitely has its challenges. But I mean, any family with siblings has their challenges.
Yeah.
So it's just different challenges that you got to adapt to.
Okay.
What are things that in life or like daily that I take for granted that are like struggles for you or that are harder for you? That like are just things that I can do normally.
Not have to worry about your heart,
True.
your
Yeah.
lungs, walking.
Yeah.
That I feel like you take that for granted easily.
I do.
Walking.
Yeah.
Walking far.
For sure.
And like money.
Like budgeting?
Budget. Yep.
Yeah. I'm definitely good at that.
A lot better than me. Yeah.
You're not.
Getting there.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah. Food, cooking. You're a bit better than me.
I
to be honest.
mean, I'm not amazing.
It's, you know.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's a little better.
Yeah, but I think the main thing is walking, not getting tired quick, and having a normal life, I guess.
Yeah, like school.
Yeah, school.
Like school was school for me, but it was a struggle for you.
Yeah, let's say struggle.
College and stuff like that.
I didn't even go to college, so.
But I've gone, so like.
How many times?
We're not getting into that.
Yeah.
I have lots of expensive pieces of paper to show.
Yeah, I guess. So, I guess that answers your question.
Yeah.
How do you explain me and 22Q to new people?
Ooh. Well, it depends on who it is.
True.
So if it's people I work with in the medical field at the hospitals and stuff like that, oftentimes they understand what tetralogy is. Tetralogy of Fallot, like your heart condition. So if I just say that, they'll understand what that means, and some of them know what DiGeorge/22Q is, or have like heard of it, and they're like, oh, I've heard of that. What is that again? And you know, like they kind of understand it a bit more from like a medical perspective. So definitely focus on that. People that I'm just like friends at school that like you'll never meet, but that I talk to regularly.
Yeah.
I kind of just explain it as like, yeah, it's a genetic condition. It affects a lot of different things, and then I kind of gloss over what it affects, like your heart and memory and stuff like that. And then it gets a little bit harder when it's people that I know you'll be interacting with. So like friends that'll coming over to the house or having dinner with us, or like if we're going to hang out and I happen to have a friend there, or you happen to show up or whatever. Or like when you came to visit me that one time and my now fiance was there before he had met you, I kind of like sat him down and I was like, okay, so my brother, yeah, he's got a genetic condition, yeah, he's got a heart condition, blah, 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 but like not only that, but he's, I think at the time you were like 18 or 19.
Probably 19.
I think you were about 19. I was like, he's 19, but he kind of acts a bit more like a 14, 15-year-old. So just like keep that in mind while talking to him. So like, you know, just keep in mind that, yeah, he's 19, but, you know.
Mentally, yeah, no.
Yeah, like, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
It's nothing like, you know, like it's nothing bad. It's just like one of those things that you kind of just mention to people.
Yeah.
That like, you know, what you and I may be like, you know, fart jokes aren't really funny when you're 20-something, but fart jokes are still funny to you sometimes.
Thanks.
You know, like things like that. Like it's just little things like that it's like, you know, or like if you get tired and you get annoyed, you kind of do what a normal 15-year-old, 14, 15-year-old does and kind of gets over it. Whereas like normal people kind of just suck it up. You don't know how to suck it up. You know, so just like little things like that. Yeah. So, you know, and obviously now he met you and your friends.
Oh yeah.
You chat. You're, you know, your friends, and he gets it,
We're
and
cool.
you're cool. You know, you're cool. You're cool.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't treat you any differently. He doesn't. You know, we don't treat you any differently.
I hope not.
So, you know, like it's just one of those things that it just depends on who it is that I'm telling it to. So, you know.
Yeah.
That's that. We don't have any more questions.
No, that's it.
All right.
Okay. Well, thank you, and thank you to you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for watching.